Hi, this is Zach here with the US Chartbreakers here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Tuesday, the 19th of March. Starting off with the S&P, where we've got this narrowing channel in place since back in October. The top of the channel there, 52.40. The bottom of the channel around 51.30. Managed to bounce off that with a bear trap earlier in the week, and so looking back towards 52.30. If we can break that, then the best case scenario target is up towards 5400, rather unlikely destination of September resistance line projection. On the downside, well, the worst we're looking for at the moment is basically 1 month support with this market around 50.60. Nightmare scenario would be a test of the 50-day line, 49.70 at the moment. Doesn't seem to be on the cards. Moving along to the Nasdaq, and here the picture obviously quite similar to the S&P, but the difference is that we've sort of escaped what looks to be the floor of that channel around 18,000. So below that, although we're only just below it, below 18,000 risks a test of the 50-day line around 17,600. Above the October uptrend line, then we've got the chance of as high as the 18,700 level, maybe by the end of next month. But the market obviously looking a little bit tired here at the moment. Moving on to the stocks and starting off with Airship, and here you can see that the stock doing exactly what we wanted it to do, and even more actually. We were targeting the initial resistance there for December around the $10.50 mark, and then assuming that this market was within a broadening triangle there from back in December, hit the top of that triangle right on the nose, which is obviously very satisfying, and looking for a fresh leg to the upside now, upper parallel of that triangle, possibly as high as the $21 level by the end of next month or even sooner. On the downside, looking for obviously that $10 70-60 area to hold, basically just below yesterday's support, ahead of a potential move to $21 by the end of next month. Moving along to another frequent flyer here, which is BitOrigin, and here you can see that still in a range either side of the rising 50-day line. That's around $4.60. Above that, looking for up to $6.30. But I suppose the positive here is that we are expecting a breakout, given the way that the 50-day line is rising and has been rising for quite some time. Through 6.35, looking up to the $10 area, maybe by the end of next month. Ideally, we don't have any end-of-day closes back below that 50-day moving average. Next up, another situation which may have legs, and it's Chromadex, and here you can see that it already has actually had legs, a rising trend channel there from back in October, top of the channel there heading for $3.90, and we're looking for that while we remain above the base at the top of the latest gap around $2.50, so above $2.50, looking for basically the $4 area. Another stock which we have looked at here before, and back again in a good way, Cervomed. Here you can see that there's the initial target here hit around $30.50, then the upper parallel of that particular resistance line there from way back in the summer of 22. That's currently heading towards the $26 or $27 area. We hope to see that by the end of next month or even sooner, while we remain on the right side of $20, basically the lower end of yesterday's range. New name now, and here one which will hopefully make some splash over the near term. Here we've got Canoo, and the interesting thing here is we've got a rising trend channel, or rather a broadening triangle base, and the shares hitting the 50-day moving average once again. They've sort of hit that on the way down. That's around $3.40, so basically looking for an end-of-day close above $3.40 to give us a $6 plus target there for Canoo. Next up, stock which we looked at very recently, it's back again, which is good news. Elicio Therapeutics, and here you can see we've got a rising trend channel base, top of that channel there, heading for $12. We're looking for that by the end of next month, while we remain above the floor of the channel, and the 50-day moving average, $4.68. Ideally, we stay on the right side of $5.50, given that that was the resistance before the breakout that we've just seen. Moving on to another name, which is a new one, Latham Group. Here we've got a rising trend channel base, top of the channel there, heading hopefully for $4 by the end of this month, and we're looking for that while we remain above the latest gap around the $3 mark. So above 3, looking for 4. Hopefully more than that, but that's the initial opening gambit. On to SMR, otherwise known as Nuscale Power, and here we've hit our initial target there around $7.50. Above that, looking for a fresh leg to the upside, as high as $12 ideally by the end of this month, although given how far and how fast we've moved, it might take a bit longer than that. But $12 by the end of this month, certainly while we're above recent resistance around, or resistance on the way down around the $9 mark. On to another new name, and here we have pop culture. You can see that we've had a decent rebound above a rising 50-day moving average. That's around $2.17. Recent support around the $2.50 mark, and the longer we stay above $2.50, the greater the chance of $3.85 by the end of this month, or even over the next few sessions. Big picture target, a retest of the $10 area, but that might have to wait for the end of next month or even longer than that. On to Shiftpixy, which I think we had a look at quite recently, which is quite nice given the way that the shares were up 100% yesterday. The current situation is that the shares have made good on that promise that we were assuming that there would be a sustained push through the 50-day moving average. The current position there is around $4.80, and above that looking for top of that broadening triangle from back at the end of last year as high as $12.25 by the end of next month or even sooner. Another stock to keep an eye on over the near term is Solidion, and here the reason for the inclusion is that we've got a U-shaped turnaround here, basically a bear trap island reversal, so gapping down and then gapping up. That suggests that we'll be able to at least fill the gap up towards the $4.40 area gap, which was left down back in February, and the upside value while we hold above recent resistance ahead of the latest gap, which is around the $2 mark. So above 2, looking for $4.40 or so on Solidion. Finishing off with a famous name, which is Soho House, and here famous name and probably rather controversial at the moment, but rising trend channel base there, looking for looking for up to $7 by the end of this month. Just waiting for an end of day close through the 50-day line, $6, to get our target near to $7 over the next couple of weeks. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.